Look at a map of the world. Find the Horn of Africa. You will see a small country there. That country is Djibouti. Nestled between Ethiopia, Eritrea, Somalia, it is one of the smallest nations on the African continent, yet its location gives it an outsized importance on the global stage. Djibouti sits on the western shore of a very narrow and critical waterway. This is the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, which translates to the Gate of Tears. Satellite view of Bab el-Mandeb. This slender passage of water connects the Red Sea, the Gulf of Aden, and by extension, the Indian Ocean. It is a vital artery for international commerce. This narrow strait is what military planners and economists call a choke point, a strategic bottleneck where movement of ships can be disrupted, controlled, or stopped. Any vessel traveling from Asia to Europe via the Suez Canal must pass through this spot. We are talking about an immense volume of global trade. Approximately 10% of all seaborne petroleum, and a significant portion of the world's container ship traffic navigate these waters every single day. If this lane closed, ships would have to sail around the entire continent of Africa, adding weeks to journeys and billions to costs. The strategic value cannot be overstated. Ensuring security of such choke points is a top priority for major world powers. They want to make sure their ships and the ships of their allies can pass through safely and without interference. That is why this small, arid nation of just over 1 million people has become a magnet for foreign military bases. It's not about size or natural resources, it's about geography. Djibouti offers a front row seat to a key shipping lane. For this reason, Djibouti has been called many things: a geopolitical laboratory, the world's military parking lot. These labels point to the same reality. This tiny corner of Africa has become a global security hub with competing powers operating side by side. The government of Djibouti has leveraged this geographic position into its most valuable asset. It offers a stable, secure platform in a volatile region, and the world's powers have been willing to pay for the privilege. The concentration of foreign military installations in Djibouti is unlike anywhere else in the world. It is a place where rivals operate just a few miles from one another, and allies operate just a few miles from one another, creating a complex and sometimes tense environment. The list of countries with a military presence here reads like a roster of global and regional powers. At the heart of the American military presence in Africa is Camp Lemonnier, located next to Djibouti's international airport. This is not a small outpost. It is a sprawling city-like installation. It serves as the strategic headquarters for U.S. Africa Command, AFRICOM. Originally a French Foreign Legion base, the United States took it over after the attacks of September 11, 2001, and has since expanded it dramatically. Today it hosts thousands of American personnel, including soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, civilian contractors, intelligence operatives. It is the only enduring U.S. military base on the entire African continent. The primary mission of Camp Lemonnier is centered on counter-terrorism. Its location provides an unparalleled platform for monitoring and acting against extremist groups in the region. It is a critical hub for drone operations, with unmanned aerial vehicles taking off from its runway to conduct surveillance and targeted strikes in nearby conflict zones like Somalia and across the Gulf of Aden in Yemen. These operations are a cornerstone of American security policy in the region, aimed at disrupting terrorist networks before they can plan attacks against U.S. interests or allies. The base functions as the eyes and ears of the United States in this volatile part of the world. Beyond counter-terrorism, Camp Lemonnier serves a broader logistical purpose. It is a vital forward operating base that allows the U.S. to rapidly deploy forces and resources in response to crises across Africa and the Middle East. Whether it is a humanitarian disaster requiring aid, an embassy evacuation, or a sudden security threat, the assets stationed in Djibouti can be mobilized quickly. The base supports a wide range of activities, from training exercises with regional partners to providing logistical support for naval vessels patrolling the surrounding waters. France's military presence in Djibouti is the oldest and most established of any foreign power. As the former colonial ruler, France has maintained a significant military footprint since Djibouti gained independence in 1977. The French forces are stationed at several locations, including Base Aérienne 188, a major air base, and a naval facility. This long-standing presence is governed by a defense treaty between the two countries, which allows France to pre-position troops, aircraft, and ships. For decades, the French base was the dominant foreign military installation, serving as a symbol of France's enduring influence in its former colonial sphere and its commitment to security in the region. The French mission in Djibouti is multifaceted. It serves as a key base for French operations in the Indian Ocean and the Middle East, supporting everything from counter-piracy patrols to providing logistical backup for French deployments elsewhere. The troops stationed there also engage in training exercises with the Djiboutian armed forces, helping to build local capacity and strengthen bilateral ties. For Paris, the base in Djibouti is a legacy of its past as a global power, but also a practical tool for its present-day foreign policy. It ensures that France retains a voice and a capacity to act in a region where it has long held economic and political interests. In stark contrast to France's long history is the arrival of a new power, China. In 2017, China officially opened its first-ever overseas military base, located near the modern Doral multi-purpose port. The establishment of the Chinese People's Liberation Army support base was a landmark moment, signaling Beijing's growing global ambitions. While China describes the facility as a logistics hub primarily intended to support its naval anti-piracy missions, beyond the major powers, Djibouti also hosts a diverse coalition of other nations, each with a specific stake in the region's security. Japan, for instance, established its first overseas military base since World War II here in 2011. The primary driver was the threat of piracy off Somalia, which endangered Japanese commercial vessels and the vital sea lanes they depend on for trade. The Japanese base houses several hundred personnel maritime patrol aircraft, a naval destroyer. Its mission is strictly focused on counter-piracy and ensuring the safety of navigation in the Gulf of Aden. Italy also maintains a military support base in Djibouti, which it uses to support national operations and contributions to international missions. The Italian base provides logistical support, operational support for naval units participating in EU and NATO-led anti-piracy patrols. It serves as a hub for training exercises with Djiboutian and other regional forces, and is positioned to assist in humanitarian relief efforts. For the government of Djibouti, hosting this array of foreign military bases is not just a matter of international politics, it is a core component of its national economic strategy. In a country with few natural resources and a harsh, arid climate that limits agriculture, renting out its strategic geography has become its most lucrative business. The revenue generated from leasing land for military bases and providing services to the thousands of foreign personnel stationed there is a vital source of income for the state. This rent-a-base model has transformed Djibouti's economy and provided it with a steady stream of foreign currency that underpins its national budget. The financial figures are substantial. The United States, for example, pays over $125 million annually for its lease on Camp Lemonnier and related port access. This figure includes a base rent of over $60 million, with the rest covering services like water, electricity. Other countries pay significant sums as well, though the exact terms of their agreements are often less public. China is reported to have paid a large sum for its long-term lease, in addition to financing major infrastructure projects, France, Japan, Italy, others. When all are added up, the total income runs into the hundreds of millions of dollars each year. Djibouti's role as a global military hub is made all the more critical by the profound instability of its surrounding neighborhood. The country exists in a region plagued by conflict and political turmoil. Just across the Bab el-Mandeb Strait lies Yemen, a nation devastated by a brutal and ongoing civil war. The conflict there directly threatens the shipping lanes that Djibouti's tenants are there to protect. To the south lies Somalia, state collapse, famine, persistent insurgency by the extremist group Al-Shabaab. To the west, tensions between Ethiopia and Eritrea have historically simmered, and sometimes erupted into open conflict. In this sea of volatility, Djibouti stands out as an island of relative peace and political stability. Its government has skillfully managed to maintain internal order and avoid being drawn directly into the conflicts that rage around it. This stability is its most precious commodity, the very quality that makes it an attractive and reliable partner for foreign militaries. For countries like the United States, France, and China, having a secure and predictable base of operations in such a turbulent region is invaluable. It allows them to project power, gather intelligence, and respond to crises without having to worry about the security of their own facilities. The presence of so many powerful foreign actors creates a delicate and precarious balancing act for Djibouti's leaders. They must navigate the competing interests and rivalries of global superpowers operating in close proximity. The simultaneous presence of American and Chinese bases, for example, requires careful diplomatic maneuvering to maintain good relations with both Washington and Beijing. The government must manage requests for access and support from all its partners while safeguarding its own sovereignty and national interests. This requires a high degree of political skill, as a misstep could easily upset the fragile equilibrium. In conclusion, Djibouti's importance on the world stage is a direct result of a simple truth. Geography is destiny. Its strategic location at a vital maritime choke point, combined with its unique position as a stable anchor in a volatile region, has made it indispensable to global powers.